You're watching News 4 Midday.
Welcome back, everyone. Just imagine being on the trip of a lifetime in South America, kayaking in exotic waters. Something terrible happens, and you drown. That was where a life and death experience began for a spinal doctor named Dr. Mary Neal. And she shared her story on the Health Gig podcast titled Life and Death is Where the Unity Between Science and Spirituality is Revealed. She is here also with Doro Koch, one of the hosts of this very special event that's happening in town. It's a sold-out conference titled Achieving Optimal Health. Is that right?
That's right.
I got that right. Ladies, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
And Doro, if I may, I'd love to mention that you are the sister of George W. Bush,
yes,
our former president.
Yes.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell us about the podcast, because you've got this conference in town. A lot of people are going to be speaking. The podcast.
So the podcast, it is an extension of the conference, so we can reach even more people. And we interview cultural leaders about what makes them healthy and happy, about our health journeys. People in the wellness industry and all kinds of other people that you've heard of, and it's fun and inspiring.
Dr. Neal, your story has really captivated so many people, had so many people talking. Can you tell us what happened with this experience?
Sure, I was in South America and drowned. And I was without oxygen for 30 minutes before CPR began, and I had this very extensive, wonderful near-death or after-death experience.
What happened?
What happened in the experience? Well, I went to what I would call heaven, God's world. I definitely survived physical death, and my spirit encountered all sorts of things, including Christ and this experience of God's absolute pure love, and went on to have encounters with deceased, I don't know, relatives or people who had been part of my life story.
And you say Jesus gave you an assignment or told you you have work still to be done here? And
yes.
Okay.
Before I was kicked out, I was given a...
Before you were kicked out of heaven?
Yes.
Okay.
I was given a laundry list of work yet to be done, some of which, all of which, I might add, would be very challenging to me in one way or another. But some of which had to do with the coming and unexpected death of my oldest son, and a number of other really very challenging things. And we talked about it, and we talked about the beauty that would come of many of these challenges, and talked about the need to trust that God has a plan for each one of us that's one of hope. And it went on for what seemed like many, many hours.
Yeah. But it was only 30 minutes of this experience.
Yes.
Oh. Wow. Okay, so, and people are captivated by this story. You believe science and the spiritual world can coexist. I know you're going to talk about all of this at the conference, which is sold out.
I know.
Sold out at Georgetown University. This is a hot ticket in town, along with so many others.
It really is, thanks to people like Dr. Mary Neal who come and speak. So we're very excited.
All right. Dr. Neal, thank you, Doro Koch, for joining us. It's a pleasure, absolute pleasure. Okay, Erica, back to you.
Thanks, Millette. You know, there are big fans, and then there's this guy. Find out why this World Series is especially emotional for a Nationals super.